Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this week's episode of Gazzetta Dello FIVE. You got here myself, Joe Bayer, Stephen Housen, and the man in whom we trust, Mr. Fabrizio Romano. Now,
guys,
you okay? Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. It's important. We want you guys to have the latest news as it arrives. And also, don't forget, we've got a new show called Ballers and Watches with Kieran Richardson. It is banging. Secret Scout as well with Stephen Housen and Anton Ferdinand. Make sure you watch after you watch this video.
Give me your top 3 Steven Gerrard moments. There's too many, really.
There's too many, but for me, what stands out, FA Cup final, West Ham.
Bro.
You know, honestly, for me, obviously, even though I don't support West Ham, but I still have
I love for them. Come on,
because I've played for them as a kid. So I remember my friend Anton was in the final. I'm watching him, supporting him. So like, they're 1-0 up, obviously, and then Steven Gerrard comes with that crazy, thunderous, was it like a half volley type of thing? Far right, goes in, makes it 1-0, and they go on and win it in penalties. For me, that was just a mad moment. But obviously, he's had so many moments in his career. Obviously, probably the greatest midfielders England's ever seen. One of them, 100%.
Get your questions into Fabrizio Romano. He's here to answer them. So let's get into it. Steve, do you want to roll it off?
From the notes I've seen, mate, this is a proper United show this today, isn't it?
It's all this Erik Ten Hag news. You see Rio yesterday in his video.
Yeah, this is. I don't even know where to start actually with this. We're expecting Ten Hag's announcement following Sunday, I imagine. Fabrizio, you got any more on that?
Yes, could be next week. It depends on the timing between Ajax and Manchester United to agree on the release clause. He has a clause into his contract, Erik Ten Hag, for 2 million euros. So the two clubs will be in contact. I think these days everything will be resolved. It's not a problem because this clause is 2 million euros, but it's about the relationship between Ajax and Manchester United, not about the 2 million euros. They don't want to create any problem because Ajax are still in the race and the big favorites to win the Eredivisie. They have the cup final, so they want to protect Ajax situation and then to announce their new manager. But it's just a matter of time and of relationships. Then everything will be completed.
I won't be surprised if United wait until after we get a spanking by Liverpool on Tuesday. So I reckon Wednesday they'll probably use this to distract everyone from the awful news of whatever the result is Tuesday night.
Fabrizio doesn't want to comment. He knows the truth, but he's like, guys, that's you guys' business, not mine. Also, there's reports of Mitchell van der Gaag coming with Ten Hag from Ajax or Steve McClaren. What's the situation with the team that he's going to be arriving with?
Yes, there are many rumors because this is the final point together with the clause to be agreed before Erik Ten Hag will sign the contract, but everything is set to be completed. And yes, it's a possibility to join for him from Ajax to Manchester United. It's one of the possibilities. There have been talks also with Steve McClaren, but at the moment, as already mentioned, there's not something agreed between him and Erik Ten Hag and Manchester United. So they are still discussing, but it's not something advanced. They're still in the process on this one. It's really important for Erik Ten Hag, the backroom staff, to decide on the right people. We had some rumors about Robin van Persie, but at the moment it's still nothing concrete because it doesn't seem so easy. So they're still building the backroom staff, but it's something that will take a bit of time, some days, because for Erik Ten Hag it's really an important point to proceed.
Darwin Nunez had a bit of a good showing last night against Liverpool. Do we believe anything in the rumours, or is it just convenient timing, do you think?
No. It's true that Manchester United are discussing internally about him. Then at the moment there are no negotiations because 1 week ago he changed his agent. So now everything has restarted about the talks, the conversations with the club. The clubs in January, as we said many times, Arsenal had him in their list. West Ham made a proposal on deadline day, 45 million, and Benfica said no. But now with the new agent that is really close to Gravenberch, it's completely different negotiation. It's completely different about the relationship with the clubs. So now everything is going to restart. The price will be around 75-80 million euros. And it's true that Manchester United discussed his name internally. It doesn't mean that Darwin Nunez will 100% join Man United because he's still an open race. And Jorge Mendes, we know how he works. He has many relationships around the world. So he will discuss about Darwin with many clubs. But we can include him in the big domino of the strikers. Manchester United will sign a new striker, and Darwin Nunez will be one of the options. I would keep an eye on many names, not just for Man United, but in general this summer. For example, Richarlison. Richarlison is a player now is focused on Everton, but could be a very interesting option for many clubs. And Man United are exploring this kind of strikers before deciding, together with Erik ten Hag, who is the best number 9, and it depends also on the budget, of course.
Yeah, so because they're trying to partner up Ronaldo with a striker. I heard this is going to be one of his number 1 priorities when he arrives, because he is now satisfied with what the club want to do with him in terms of partnership. I mean, if you're talking Richarlison, first of all, they're going to sell him for crazy amounts of money. And is he really what you need? Really?
Steve? More question for Steve than for me.
Yes, yeah, Steve, look, I'm looking at Steve, what do you reckon?
I don't think you go to the Premier League and buy anybody for value for money, to be honest. Unless you've got like a Tielemans situation where their contract's expiring. I don't think you get a bargain in the Premier League. No one is under pressure financially to sell their players at the moment. They're under pressure to compete on the pitch. And there's more money to stay in the Premier League than there is that you're going to offer them for that player. So I think if you want to find good value for money in your players, you don't buy English and you don't buy from the Premier League. So
yeah. Saying that though, when you look at the list, Fabrizio, this one's for you. What are the chances? United's shortlist: Declan Rice from West Ham, Calvin Phillips from Leeds, Ruben Neves from Wolves, Basuma from Brighton, and Chouameni from Monaco. So, what are we
most
looking
of them
at?
Premier League based. Don't do it.
Yeah, Premier League based. So that looks like Man United are going to be spending quite a lot of money this summer.
They need to. They need to sign a new central midfielder. They need to sign a new centre back. They need to sign a new striker. So I expect Man United to do like 3 or 4 signings this summer, maybe 4 more than 3. This is the expectation around the club. Then we know that it's not going to be easy because you don't have Champions League football, but this is the expectation. Erik ten Hag was really clear and very clear in the conversation with Manchester United board. They need to rebuild. They need to feel something different. They need to sell some players and to let some players go at the end of their contracts, like Cavani, Lingard, Juan Mata, and many others. So I can't say that will be a revolution because the budget is not kind of crazy budget, but they are planning to change many players. As I mentioned, 3, 4 players, maybe 5. But let's see what happens in the summer. But I expect Man United to be busy on many positions. All the midfielders you mentioned are part of the list. For Phillips is a possibility that they are exploring, but it depends on Erik ten Hag. The real priority has always been Declan Rice, but with West Ham it's going to be really complicated, and I don't see Man United spending crazy money on Declan Rice. They want him, but it's up to West Ham more than Man United because they can spend 150 or 160 million pounds on Declan Rice. It would be crazy. So at the moment the situation is still open on the midfielder. They will discuss together with ten Hag, midfielder, centre back, and striker. But I see Man United really busy on the market.
On the players that need to go, we saw some reports this week that Paul Pogba could be getting offered a £500,000 a week contract to stay at United. Please tell me there's nothing in that.
I'm told that the proposal is still the same. It's still the same proposal they made last July, and it's not this one, so it's less than this. And it's up to Paul, as always. If he wants to change his mind and stay in Man United, maybe because with Erik ten Hag the situation could be different, the project could look different, it could be an option. But as of today, the situation is still in standby between Pogba and Man United, and the expectation is still for Pogba to make a decision at the end of the season, so in May and not now. This is why, at the moment, I don't have any news of big changes on Pogba's side.
Robert Lewandowski, it was rumoured that he had officially signed for Barcelona. Obviously, Bayern Munich knocked out by Villarreal yesterday. It seemed like he was ready to go to Barcelona, but then Oliver Kahn comes out and he says, Oliver Kahn, who you guys know, the legendary goalkeeper, also Bayern director, he says, we'll definitely have him with us for another season. We're not crazy to discuss a transfer of a player who scores 30 to 40 goals for us every season. We have a contract with Robert, and we've always said that we'd start talks, we'd start doing that. We started doing that a long time ago. And it says he will stay with us. Robert knows what he is in Bayern. We know what we have in him. Now, you got to let us know. There's a bit of confusion there. Has he signed? Has he not? Is he staying? Is he going?
No, he has signed nothing. There is nothing signed between Barcelona and Robert Lewandowski, because to sign a contract, you need an agreement between the two clubs. And at the moment, Barcelona and Bayern are not even in contact. So between the two clubs, there is absolutely nothing. It's just on Barcelona side that they approached the agent of Robert Lewandowski because they know the situation of Robert Lewandowski. We said here on the show many times that Lewandowski has been really clear since last summer with Bayern. When Paris Saint-Germain approached Robert Lewandowski to be the potential replacement for Kylian Mbappé in case the deal with Real Madrid was going through, they approached him. Then Bayern said no, was not even a negotiation. So this is why Lewandowski was waiting for Bayern to make him a proposal to extend the contract after turning down this possibility with Paris Saint-Germain. But it's now like 8-9 months, and there is still no proposal on the table from Bayern. This is why Lewandowski is not happy. And Lewandowski wants a new deal for the next 3 years to stay at Bayern, or he would be ready to discuss the possibility to leave Bayern this summer and not summer 2023 when his current contract expires. So this is why Lewandowski is waiting for Bayern. This is why Bayern are still saying in public that they want to continue with him, they want to open negotiations, but it's up to them. They have to offer a 3-year deal with a big salary to have Lewandowski next season with them. Or Lewandowski will be prepared to say, okay, I want to try something new. Barcelona are waiting. They approached the agent. The agent is Pinizzavi. The relationship is very good with Laporta since long time. So Barcelona are basically waiting for Bayern to do the next step, the next move. Let's see. I'm sure that Bayern, even because of this Villarreal game, of the atmosphere around the club, now for them it's important to protect Robert Lewandowski and to try their best to keep Robert Lewandowski at the club. But Barcelona are there. Barcelona are waiting. There is nothing signed between Barcelona and Lewandowski, but there is a strong interest. And you remember when we had some headlines from Spain in March saying Mo Salah or Lewandowski for Barcelona. And I always told you, Mo Salah is not interested in La Liga move this summer. Let's see next year what happens. But this summer, he's not planning for La Liga move. But Lewandowski would be open. Lewandowski would be interested. Lewandowski is exploring this possibility with his agent and with some teammate who knows the La Liga, who knows Barcelona. So he's waiting for Bayern to do the next move. But Barcelona are in the race. So let's see. Lewandowski will be one of the big names for the coming weeks, I'm sure.
What is going on with Mo Salah?
Still the same. In talks, but still nothing agreed. And I think when he said in the last interview, there are many things that people don't know on my contract situation, on my contract negotiations. It means that Mo Salah wants a really important contract because he knows his value and he knows that there are many players around Europe, not just in England, but around Europe, having crazy salaries and not performing like Mo Salah is doing since many seasons with Liverpool. So this is why he's still waiting for Liverpool to do the next move to offer him an important salary. But it's just a financial problem. It's important to clarify this point. It's not a problem of Mo Salah who wants to leave Liverpool in the summer. It's not like Lewandowski, for example. Mo Salah wants to stay, wants to continue, but with an important salary, important contract, and not with the current proposal. So let's see what Liverpool will do in the coming weeks. They're still feeling confident, feeling optimistic because they know that Mo wants to continue, but it's up to them to offer a really important contract. So I'm sure that in the coming weeks, they need to speak and find a solution.
Steve wants him gone quick. He's giving Steve nightmares, mate. He wants him gone out.
You know what? I think they're gonna not offer him a mega contract, and I actually think that I think they're well run, and it breaks me that they're that well run. I think they'll probably try and replace him with someone 22, 23, and that'll be a really good move. What United would do is what we've just done with Pogba, supposedly. What? And offered him the world to stay when the last 3 years he's been available half the season.
Yeah, but you can't compare. You can't compare the two.
Delivered consistently, and Liverpool are like, we'll see.
Yeah. Oh man, Steve! I'm telling you, you got to get your qualifications right, and then you just take your managerial skills straight to Man United, mate. You know you can do it. Mate.
Genuinely could run the club better than the Glazers, mate.
Hey, up the paddock, man. Up the paddock. There's another one that I want to look at. Ryan Gravenberch as well. Going back to his signing for Bayern Munich. Is it complete? Is it not behind closed doors? Because there's been loads of rumours. He's been linked for a minute now. Is it happening?
It's really close. It's not completed yet, but it's really close. The director of Bayern, Oliver Kahn, we mentioned before, he's been meeting with Mino Raiola more than 2 times to discuss this transfer. And they're trying to do a package deal with Bayern and with Mino Raiola in this case. Mazraoui and Gravenberch. Both players are with Mino Raiola. Mazraoui will be free in few weeks, in few months, and he will not sign a new deal with Ajax. So Bayern are pushing to sign Mazraoui and to beat Barcelona in this race. And Ryan Gravenberch, there is an agreement on the potential contract, so on personal terms with Gravenberch and with Mino Raiola, but not yet with Ajax. They're still negotiating with Ajax on the fee. But the expectation around Bayern is that at the end, Gravenberch will be Bayern player in the coming weeks. They're discussing on a fee around 17 million euros plus 10 million euros add-ons, so around 27 million euros fee. In my opinion, is a bargain. It would be a crazy deal for Bayern, but they are negotiating, they are in talks, and so they're really optimistic on both Mazraoui and Gravenberch.
Wow.
Do Bayern ever not get who they're going for? They're just nothing but net, aren't they? Every single time Bayern spot someone, that person's a Bayern Munich player. Like, Bayern Munich have never been used like United do, where people are like, oh, United are in forever, guy signs a new contract, or United are in forever, signs for Chelsea. It's never happened. Bayern Munich go, yeah, we want that one. Yeah, we got him.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
You know what they do, Bayern? They prepare the market in February, March, in April, and in May. So it's really difficult to see Bayern Munich signing a player in August or end of July. They're
like
always planning before.
I want to look at this one's especially for the Fulham fans out there. There's loads of you. Shout out to my friend Jack Fenton, big Fulham fan. He's crying over this one because Liverpool have decided to announce Fabio Carvalho's signing in the coming weeks to respect Fulham's chase for the championship, right? Because even though we know they're going to go up, there's still a little bit to go. Can you let us know what the actual price is for the move and what you think of him as a player, Fab?
Yes, the deal is done, 100%. The players already visited the training ground, met with Jurgen Klopp, had his medical with Fulham permission. So everything is done between Fabio Carvalho and Liverpool. Let me say that Liverpool have been really respectful because you remember that deal collapsed on deadline day in the final minutes of the deadline day. And Fabio Carvalho was available on a free. So Liverpool, if they wanted, they had a chance to sign him on a free. But to respect Fulham and to respect the agreement, the verbal agreement they had in January, they're going to pay £5 million guaranteed plus £2.7 million add-ons. There is a sell-on clause included into this deal. And I'm told it's around 20%. So it's a good deal, I think, for Fulham and a very interesting deal for Liverpool because they sign a top talent. He will sign for 5 years. And I'm told that there is no plan to loan him back to Fulham or to loan him out to any other club. The plan is to keep Fabio Carvalho on the team for next season, to have him as part of the pre-season and of Jurgen Klopp team. So they're super happy with the signing because some clubs in February were trying to hijack this move. But now everything is completed. And in my opinion, it's a really, really interesting one. I really like Fabio Carvalho. Many players are telling me that he is not just super talented, as we can see on the pitch, but also really professional, really serious. And I'm sure that Jurgen Klopp is the perfect manager for him. So everything is done and Fabio Carvalho will be Liverpool player. And Fulham will replace him with Manor Solomon, that is a really good player from Shakhtar. We know their situation now is complicated, but that's why at the end of the season, he will join Fulham, €7 million. This deal is done too. And so everything is completed on this one.
Sweet.
Fernandinho has said that he's not renewing his contract at Manchester City. He wants to go back to Brazil. Does this mean City are going to go on a madness looking for a defensive midfielder to replace him?
Wait, did you see what happened yesterday when that happened and then they asked Pep Guardiola? Pep was like, oh, really? Like he literally found out at the press conference. It was hilarious.
You know why? Because Pep was not expecting Fernandinho to announce that in public. That's the point. Because he knows since a long time that Fernandinho wants to go back to Brazil because of his family. But at the same point, he's still trying to convince Fernandinho for one more season at Man City. They're trying. Pep, Chiki Begiristain, Ferran Soriano trying to speak with him and to have him for one more season. But Fernandinho wants to go back to Brazil. And yes, Manchester City will go for a midfielder in the summer. Now their priority is on the striker. We know that they want a new striker since a long time, and their priority is Erling Haaland. I'm told that in the last few days, few hours, they are really pushing on Erling Haaland. They're making efforts. They are doing their best to convince Erling Haaland. So Man City are on it, but the race is still open, and it's up to the player, as we know. So let's see what he will communicate in the coming days. But this month, we will have the final answer from Erling Haaland. And they will go for a midfielder. After resolving the striker situation, they will go for a midfielder in the summer. Let's see who will be the player. They're following many players, but I'm sure that Manchester City will go for a midfielder in the summer.
Okay. I want to look at the Chelsea lot before Steve does the questions from the fans. Kante, Jorginho, out of contract in 2023. And of course, Levi Colwill, who's rated really, really highly, and he's had an impressive loan season at Huddersfield. They're going to offer him something long-term. What's going on over there at Chelsea?
Yes, on Colwill, they're waiting on player side because, of course, Chelsea at the moment are not able to offer new contracts. So they have a contract till 2025, so it's not a dangerous situation. But many clubs are following him. He's doing very good with Huddersfield, and this is why Chelsea know that in the summer they will receive many proposals from him, not just from Premier League, but from European clubs already approaching the agent. So it's a really interesting one. And for Chelsea, Kante and Jorginho, I think Tuchel was very clear, and he was right to say that they're facing the risk to have a new situation like the one they had with Tony Rudiger and Andreas Christensen, because both players are out of contract in 2023. And Kante is waiting since last May to have a proposal from Chelsea. Jorginho's waiting since last summer to have a proposal. They always told them, okay, in the coming months we will speak, we will negotiate our new contract. But now they are under sanctions, so they're not able to do it. Let's see what happens in the coming weeks. But both players are waiting for Chelsea to decide this summer about their contracts.
Wow. Steve?
Chelsea's collapse could be amazing, and it could be really interesting. And you could have a very busy summer if they end up having to get rid of a lot of people. But yeah, we got some fan questions, so I'll start on these. No first name, last name this week.
He didn't make it. He or she didn't make it.
Amaris Nazer says, do you think Maddison will go to Arsenal this summer if they get Champions League? Big F mind.
I'm not sure. Last summer, there were a lot of rumors about this one, but their priority, Arsenal priority has always been Odegaard. So I'm not sure that it will be the priority. I'm sure that they will have different kind of priorities, like striker, for sure, midfielder. They have other positions to cover.
Mr. J. Juck says, any news on Jude Bellingham? Is he likely going anywhere this summer or any links so far?
Many top clubs are inquiring about him, obviously. Fantastic player, but I'm told that this summer the plan at Borussia Dortmund is to continue with Jude Bellingham. They will sell Erling Haaland, so at the moment the plan is to keep Jude Bellingham for one more season and then to see in summer 2023 what happens.
It's pretty good setup that they have at Dortmund, isn't it? Where they can, they farm out or bring in a lot of young talent, and they go, we'll sell one of them a summer, but that's it. And that's how they're able to keep everyone happy doing that. It's pretty good work. Scotty says, is Bale going to United? What's Steve being all giggly about?
I think no, Steve, you have to answer.
He's not going to United. Have you found out what I spoke to you about yet?
But he still has the inside info.
He's not going to United. You might see him at Old Trafford next season, though.
Yeah.
And then Roger That says, Fab, what's the craziest transfer story you could share? And could we see Diego Simeone ever coach in the Premier League?
I think for Simeone, this summer is going to be more than complicated, but I think maybe in the future. But as of now, he's super happy with Atletico Madrid. They have a feeling, a connection that is something crazy. So also, I think yesterday night, the energy that he has with Atletico Madrid fans is something special. Even if they win, they lose, it doesn't matter. They are always together in this fight. And so I think it's going to be difficult. This summer, almost impossible because they want to continue together. Maybe in the future, but at the moment, he's only focusing on Atletico Madrid. They're already planning for new signings. And his salary, guys, his salary is really huge. It's one of the biggest in the world of football. So this is why it's not going to be easy.
Did you see, even after those players were fighting yesterday, they asked him in the press conference, did he think that his players went too far? And he just started talking about the referee and the penalty. I just thought, this guy is such a villain, and he's good at it. He really is.
I always saw him as a potential Chelsea manager, mate. I think his salary, like Fab said now, he's one of the highest paid managers in the world by a stretch. So I don't think many are getting him. On the craziest transfer story, what's the craziest one you ever heard of? Maybe that didn't come off.
But the present, so for this summer or in the past?
In the past, just the craziest. Some of that didn't happen, obviously. Like if you'd have said, "Hey, Messi went to PSG last summer," it's still pretty crazy to say it now. But
but there are too many. There are too many, really. I still remember, for example, when Inter wanted to sign Luka Modric for Real Madrid. And every time I see Modric playing for Real Madrid, I still remember when Inter wanted to sign him. And it was a serious possibility. But also Chelsea wanted to sign him. He had a meeting with Roman Abramovich on his yacht a few years ago. And they tried to sign him. But then at the end, he decided to stay at Real Madrid. Luka Modric is a player I'm crazy for, guys. I'm really in love with Luka Modric. So this is why I'm always mentioning him.
I got one for you. Frank Lampard nearly signed for United in Fergie's last season. It was this close.
Really?
Yeah, in the January transfer window. Wow. Don't know why it didn't, but it was that close.
I got one for you. Arsenal almost signed loads of players. That one. Guys, I think that's the best way to wrap it up this week. Thank you very much, Fabrizio, for joining us on Gazzetta Dello FIVE. Steve, I know you're not feeling too well, but it's good to have you here, mate. The attendance is looking good. Keep it up. Myself, Joel Bear, will be back soon. And yeah, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe on FIVE. Peace.